Welcome back once again to the Bosch and Roll channel, and we are playing Legacy today, and it's a sweet one. So, Julian Nab, streamer, ItsJulian.com, ItsJulian on Twitter. He's everywhere. He's the uh, proprietor, I don't know if that's the right word, inventor, producer of the Legacy Premier League. He rules, and he's been an elf god for years. He was winning like Bazaar of Moxen and Magic Card Market Series and stuff over in Europe, and he's done it all with elves. He and I used to play elves exclusively back in the Top Miracles days, which was kind of insane. But Julian and I were in like Facebook contact back then. I would pester him for advice, and he still is playing elves. He still is one of the two people I associate with pushing the archetype forward, the other being Hello Newton. And in one of my videos last week, the Urza Echo League, Julian dumpstered me with this deck. I had a turn 1 Chalice of the Void on the play, and he just cast Allosaurus Shepherd, and it's like I mulliganed. It was embarrassing how hard I lost to this Allosaurus Shepherd. And as you can see, Julian's deck plays 4 of this card, which is a direction that he's chosen to go. Shout out to Marshall Arthurs, by the way, for letting me borrow 4 Allosaurus Shepherd. This card is not cheap on Magic Online, and it's only in Elves, so thanks, Marshall, for making this video possible. Anyway, so Julian, with 4 Allosaurus Shepherd, 4 Heritage Druid, 2 Birchlore Ranger, 4 Nettle Sentinel, he is trying to combo. There is no backup plan here. A lot of Elves decks, like I mentioned, Hello Newton is the other big name in Elves, and what Newton has been doing is he's basically trying to fit as many Maverick cards as possible into the Elves shell, where he has like Scavenging Ooze and Elvish Reclaimers and all of these like cool other things that you can do. It's basically a mid-range green-black control deck with a combo finish. And Julian has gone the other direction. He wants all his spells to resolve, and he wants to kill you immediately with a Greater Hoof Behemoth, which I think is certainly a more exciting direction. Whether or not it's better, it's unclear. They both have their pros and cons. And Julian himself pioneered the what was called Chaos Elves because it had no order. LOL, big jokes. He pioneered a version of the deck that had no natural order, and it was just like a bug mid-range deck with the Elves package in it. But here he is going all the way in the other direction. This is the list I've chosen to showcase today because Allosaurus Shepherd is a new and exciting card, and I think it checks a lot of boxes that we needed to check. So Elves historically, the way to beat Elves is usually you need some number of spot removal to break up their onboard tricks. You need some number of counterspells to stop their natural orders from happening. And you need to get on board so you don't just die to the remaining 1/1s. So Allosaurus Shepherd stops one of those entire angles from happening. So if you can't check the stack interaction box, you can pick off like the Heritage Druid, you can pick off the Wirewood Symbiote with your spot removal, but how much spot removal do you really have? And then if you pick off the engines and then you get on board with a Tarmogoyf or whatever to stop attacks, then you're just always dead to natural order. So like you can't actually check every box as long as Allosaurus Shepherd is in play. So that's what we're going for here. It also allows the most busted starts, like the fearless turn 3 natural order, jam it into Daze, jam it into Force, jam it into Spell Pierce. We don't care, here it comes. So I have not played with this card yet. I'm excited to try it. I've certainly lost to it. Let's get into this. All right, so we're on the play for game 1. We have the Shepherd, we have Rangers, and Nettle Sentinel. This hand is pretty explosive. We are all dressed up right now. We just need to find somewhere to go. I'll lead on this one, because that's how we do. We even have a bonus one if they kill this. So if I draw a Glimpse of Nature, I think I might just win next turn. Uh-oh. Let's see if they have the Punishing Fire right away. In this sort of matchup is usually pretty good. There are specific cards we can lose to, but in general, we should beat them up pretty good. Uh-oh. I was saying. Okay, so Ranger Danger. Decaying my jerk. Okay, that's going to slow us down a bit. All right, Ranger's in. I think I have to get this Sentinel into play. Or I could get the second Shepherd. I could also just... I could play Shepherd and Symbiote. Because Symbiote doesn't set me back a creature spell next turn. So if they have Wasteland and Removal spell, we could be in some trouble. Though, removal doesn't even matter, because I have Symbiote. Alright, there's the Wasteland. Do you have the removal spell too? No, okay. Let's see how far we can go. All right, so the answer is not very far yet. We're not done. So Shepherd doesn't matter. Untap Birchler Ranger by bouncing Shepherd. All right, so finding a second symbiote's pretty busto here. That's at least 2 more cards drawn. I think I can tap Cradle at this point. Let's see. I'm not going to kill my opponent with this. It can basically... I can only get in for 10 this turn, even if both my creatures attack. So I think casting Shepherd here first is fine. So I can Zenith for... I'm going to Zenith for 3 to get Elvish Visionary, which is why... Or Zenith for 2. I mean, pay 3 mana for it, is what I meant. So I get Visionary here. That's why I didn't activate my Symbiote earlier. There's a lot of clicking involved in this. Sorry if it's not a thrilling video, but we are at least navigating this glimpse. We were navigating this glimpse. Oh, wow. It's a good thing they conceded, because I just ran out of gas. Though that's what I was saying with the boxes you need to check against elves. Even if I whiff on my combo, like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 power in play, plus I can make it them all 5/5s next turn. So they are like probably just dead to my board. Nice. All right. Well, that was messed up. So they are a lands deck of some variety. Seems to be 4 color because they had Abrupt Decay instead of Punishing Fire. So Scavenging Ooze might be a card I want. Progenitus might be something I'm interested in against this deck. I don't want Thoughtseize. I don't think I care about Ley Line of the Void. Like, they're not a deck. I think this card is more for, like, what people are just gonna just wreck me out of the graveyard, like Reanimator, Dredge, Oops All Spells, that kind of thing. This is not for value. Because the decks that are valuing out of the graveyard, we should just overpower anyway. All right, so are there any permanents they're going to play that I need to beat? This deck does not have a Elvish Reclaimer in it, so I might want some number of Abrupt Decay. I think I do want the Ooze. I don't think I want Progenitus, actually. Like, we can bring the Ruckus with Crater Hoof, that's fine. And Allosaurus Shepherd. Oh, they are a chalice deck. So despite being non-blue, I actually can't cut my shepherds. So Once Upon a Time is I tend to cut this card a lot when it's in my deck. I don't know if that's right, but it seems like the point of this card is to up the density of the cards you care about, and I'm boarding in more cards I care about to replace it. So I feel like that makes sense. Like, does logic follow? Am I making that up? All right, what else do I want to cut here? Visionary is pretty great in these sort of matchups. Heritage Druid, Aquarian Ranger is good against Wasteland. Maybe I can play one less Shepherd against the non-blue deck. Because I have 2 Decays and 3 Shepherds still to mess with Chalice of the Void. Alright, let's try this. Huh. This hand is not great. My opponent mulled to 6. I am going to keep this. It has the Shepherd. We can fetch a Dryad Arbor to get things going. Let's see what they got for me. They have Triome. I didn't even board and choke. I would not board and choke. That's a joke. So I can Zenith 4 Dryad Arbor, or I can just fetch it. I think I want to fetch it and Zenith for something bigger. Like, this Zenith is all I really have going on right now. They can't decay Dryad Arbor. They can play out Wasteland and mess with it, though. Alright, they discarded Wasteland instead. Do they have a red burn spell? Looks like they do. Oh no, Growth Spiral. Growth Spiral putting in Wasteland. Oh, Growth Tabernacle. That's dirty. Cradle still plays here, so we're mostly okay, I guess. So now how do I navigate this? I think I want to get the Shepherd into play. So if I play the Shepherd, I have to tap Arbor and Forest for this, but then I have to, I can make a land drop. Yeah, I'm going to get the Shepherd in. And Wasteland isn't a super big deal here because that Dryad Arbor is only like being neutral anyway. Let's see, is Uro coming my way? Or something far more horrible? Zenith for 3. Do they have Leovold? Do they just get Uro? How does this work? I don't know what they're doing. This Growth Spiral Triome standard deck with Tabernacle in it. I don't know what's going on. It seems powerful and pretty cool. Okay, yeah, they just got Uro. That makes some sense. Right, they did not find a land. Yes, and yes. Right, Glimpse of Nature, what does that do for me? I can play Glimpse, and then I can play Heritage Druid, and then I just have nothing left. I don't have a third elf to party yet. I can Zenith for a 1-drop here. That doesn't seem good enough. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play out the Heritage Druid and pass. attack and pass. They need to get 2 more cards in their graveyard for Uro to arrive this turn. I'm pretty close to getting a Scavenging Ooze and eating Uro, and then all the pressure is off. My opponent's mana base can certainly support Plague Engineer. Okay, so Elvish Visionary is a good one. That gives me a 3rd elf, so I can try to go off here. I think I will. If they have Abrupt Decay to take me off 3 elves, that could mess me up pretty good. Or just the hardcast Mindbreak Trap. That counts too. Ooh. So I can make 3, Zenith for 1 to get Symbiote. That doesn't do what I need it to. Alright, I'm just going to attack for 2. Being able to hardcast Mindbreak Trap out of your lands deck is pretty hot. They're 2 lands away from this Field of the Dead starting to trigger. Next turn, I can get and activate Scavenging Ooze. Unless they find Wasteland. Wasting my Cradle would put me back in the Stone Age. Okay, they might be just getting a Wasteland here to aggressively screw me. This also puts plenty of fodder in the graveyard for Uro. Yeah, so they're just wasting me. And then getting back Uro. Alright, hard mode is on. Oh, right, this doesn't tap for mana. They have to get back Uro next turn. Okay, so I am going to keep all these. We can always draw a Cradle. Yeah, one of the things about playing Elves is you just always play as if you just cast Vampiric Tutor. So I can Abrupt Decay the Mox Diamond to try to stop Uro from arriving, but I don't think that's a good idea. I think I want to Zenith for Ooze this turn, and then that'll force them to Uro next turn. And then I can Abrupt Decay the Uro, exile it, and then we got this. Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, the Elves deck, despite being a combo deck, frequently ends up in grindy situations like this. And you just gotta know how to move your tricks. I hope they just bring back Uro and don't do something more horrible this turn, like Plague Engineer. Yeah, this looks like Uro is coming. Dryad Arbor is a solid one to put into play. All right, time to manage all my triggers. So I have to pay 5 for 5 to keep all of them. And then I can fetch Abrupt Decay, exile Uro, and I still have the mana to do everything I need to do. Keep everybody. Maybe we'll draw Cradle. All right, Heritage Druid is not Cradle, obviously. All right, so that is my last fetchable mana source I can rely on. So I am not going to eat Uro right away. I'm kind of more worried about like Life from the Loam at this point than Uro. So I'm gonna just wait till the end step to exile. They don't have 5 cards in their graveyard. I don't have to worry about escape. Unless they play like something with split second. I'm not sure. What would punish this? I guess like a alright. Well, there's Oko, sure. Are they gonna elk up their Dryad Arbor? My Heritage Druid, maybe? I don't know. I have a lot of mana at this point. This Oko is pretty mediocre. Mediocre, as they say. Alright, so important to note, this denies them a mana source and adds a creature for that they have to pay for with Tabernacle. So they're starting to constrict themselves over there. All right, 5 mana for all this again. That's the wrong card. Hold on. Is there a way that I can do this and go off with Glimpse? So if I go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. No, that's the same. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I draw an elf, oh, that's better than an elf on average. All right, so Glimpse, Symbiote. I think bouncing the Heritage Druid in play to untap something else is better than casting the one from hand. Maybe that doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess that doesn't matter. I need to find Cradle here to keep going. Elves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures in play. So this gives me, oh, I was about to say this gives me 8 mana, but it doesn't even matter. All right, so I'm gonna Zenith and then Natural Order. I can Zenith for, I want something that untaps, so Symbiote. Yeah, so I get Symbiote. I want to untap a creature that started the turn in play, so this one, and I'll bounce this one to do it. I left this Visionary in play, hoping to draw something else that can untap. At this point, I am just gonna win the game. Or not. You got me. Okay, so with my floating mana, I'm gonna exile Wasteland. And then I'll just pass. Like, they have to pay 2 for their 2 creatures, so they only have 1 mana or 2 mana to work with. Oh, right. I forgot that Oko Elks. Oko removes the ability of pay for Tabernacle somehow. That's why we exiled Wasteland. Alright, I should still be able to win this turn unless their last card in hand. I don't know. Is like the third Mindbreak trap? Guess it could be. Though I have Shepherd sitting in play. They have 2 blockers to my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers. 5 times 5 is 25 last I checked. I think they needed to elk this just to stay alive there. Oh, wait. I still have to pay for Tabernacle. God. Alright. Someday I'll figure out all this shit. Alright. I'm just going to use Cradle to pay for everything. And I think Shepherd can still win from this spot, even having to use Cradle for everything. So if I cast this elf, and then I can make 1, 2, 3 mana, 4, 5, 6, and then untap some shit. Yeah, that makes sense. 1, 2, 3 elves, 4, 5, 6. My elves are 5/5s. Untap this by bouncing this. Oh, I guess I only have 2 elves. This deck is hard. This is not creatures, it's elves. I'm learning. I promise I'll do better as we move forward. So attack. I guess I want to beat up Oko with my 5/5s. Do I want to trade off Ooze at this point? Probably not. Maybe I just don't attack at all. No, I think I'm committed at this point. Whoops. I guess I should have attacked with Ooze. Because I can bounce an elf and untap. Do I want this to die, or do I want to kill Ramanap Excavator? Because I can bounce this, untap Dryad Arbor, and maybe keep the turn going. I think that makes sense. Yeah, so Ooze definitely should have attacked here, if I was likely to do that anyway. Then I can pay for a third Ooze, or a third Symbiote. So Symbiote, untap this, bouncing this, then replay Shepherd. Yeah, I've made kind of a mess of this. I'm definitely getting my Elves wheels back under me. I don't think I've screwed up anything too bad. Like, I haven't made any game-losing mistakes, just small things that I thought would be better than they are. So if they elk Allosaurus Shepherd, what do I do about that? I think I bounce the Shepherd in response to untap Dryad Arbor. Okay, so they're officially top decking now. Alright, they're making zombies. Making zombies. Alright, so they made a zombie bigger and they don't have to pay for it with Tabernacle now. both of which are good things to do. I'm not going to make ooze bigger because that doesn't matter at this point. My clock is under pressure just because of their tabernacle. Like every turn of the game except my turn 1, I've had to pay at least 1 tabernacle trigger. All right, so I have 1 Dryad Arbor left in the deck that can get. Just need to find a hoof. All right, all 4 visionaries are present and accounted for. All right, that should be able to get me a hoof somehow. Let's see. So if I tap 1, 2, 3 elves, maybe it doesn't do it yet. I need another cradle. All right, untap this by bouncing this. 1, 2, 3, yeah. I do have 3 symbiotes, so all right, there's a hoof for 1 less mana. Still need a cradle though to cast it. I'm gonna draw a lot of cards this turn. Ooh, that's money in the bank, as they say. So untap this by bouncing this. All right, so now I can Zenith for Nettle Sentinel. Wait, what just happened? Oh, they conceded. Okay. I thought I hit the wrong button and conceded somehow. All right, yeah. So if I Zenith for Nettle Sentinel, then I tap my Heritage Druid, then Birchler Ranger gets me up to Crater Hoof, and then we win this turn. All right, managed to navigate that one despite some goofy mishaps. I now know all the words on this card. Let's go. All right, so the next round is paired, but let's just look at the trophy leader right now. That's Hello Newton. That's the Elves player I talked about in the intro. So Elves are representing right now on Magic Online. All right, it's round 2. We're on the draw. We have a hand that dies to Chalice of the Void, but is pretty strong otherwise. I'm going to keep it. Oh, basic planes. Get in my belly. So that probably means that Swords to Plowshares is happening. Like, why do you play basic planes go? So I could play Nettle Sentinel. Like, Dryad Arbor. No, Dryad Arbor is just the best thing for me to do. So I'm going to do that. Even though it does go straight into the plow, but so does anything else. Ooh, they didn't plow. The difference being that if they plow Nettle Sentinel, I mostly don't care. But if they don't plow Nettle Sentinel, it doesn't do much for me. All right, so Stoneforge Mystic is going to go get Umezawa's Jitte, and it is officially go time. This is historically one of the laugher matchups for Elves. Like, we should just crush. We even drew the land. All right, so the land gives us 3 Elves, and 3 Elves gives us Heritage Druid, which gives us double Symbiote, which means that Jitte doesn't even connect. And my opponent, who showed up without a blue deck, with basic planes in their deck, gets to feel the wrath. So this is free, so I'm going to do it. I guess I might as well untap Heritage Druid also. So I have 4 mana right now, which if I had Natural Order, I could just hoof them. But I don't, so I won't. Though it's not looking good for them next turn if they can't do something about this Craterhoof Behemoth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can cast Hoof next turn. With the port, I can't, but they can't put in Jitte and port me. I guess if they have a land, they could just spend this turn porting. All right, that's very good. Though I have several activated abilities they need to control. So we'll see which one they go with. They probably should just hit Heritage Druid. Okay. They made the right choice, unfortunately. Cradle. Cradle. All right. Ooh. It's a good thing they turned off that Heritage Druid, or they would be dead. So I still get to cast a lot of Visionaries this turn, and at any point we find Cradle, we win. Can I cast this? So 1, 2, I'm pretty sure I can. So 1, 2, no, I can't. I needed 1 more land to do that. So I'll just recast this a couple of times. Maybe we'll find a Cradle still. There's 4 of them in the deck. Another Shepherd. I guess I can't actually cast this again because we didn't find a land. All right. I'll get this other Shepherd in though. I guess I can attack with this, huh? I could have sequenced that better. I could have had that untapped going into their turn. Little mistakes. We'll clean them up. By match 5 in this league, I'll be playing pretty tight, don't worry. So they could cast and equip Jitte this turn, but that doesn't matter. Because Symbiote can bounce. If they have another Revoker to name Symbiote with, then we could be in a little bit of trouble. Oh, well, we'll see what they got. I can cast this Natural Order next turn. Wisp. All right, so they're probably going to reset their Revoker on... Oh, okay, no, they're just going to port me. All right, that's fair. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can still cast Natural Order. No problem. Oh, wow, they didn't even port me. Why do all that and not port? So which of these do I want to bounce? Probably bounce Heritage Druid. And then Natural Order sacking the Shepherd. This is why you play 2 hoofs. I drew 1, get to bash with the other. Let's see if they have some sort of technology I'm not aware of. Yeah, even Batterskull doesn't save them here. All right, if they didn't port me, they were just trying to Stoneforge. That makes sense. All right, Abrupt Decay is great here. I don't think we need Progenitus. It's just like worse than hoofing them on almost every board. All right, so Once Upon a Times get upgraded to real spells again, and Ranger is good, Sentinel's good. Oh, Shepherd. Yep, Shepherd is the worst card here by a lot. And I don't think I need any of this other stuff. I could bring in Progenitus, but I'm historically really good at drawing Progenitus, so I'm not sure if that's what I want. Though turboing out Progenitus early, it's probably just better than Shepherd. And Death and Taxes sometimes has Chalice of the Void in the sideboard, but that turns off their plows also. And I still have 6 Shepherds with the Zeniths. This might be natural order target heavy, but I think that's okay. What did I tell you, team? This hand is not a mulligan, though, even though it is already a mulligan. So planes go again. This time I suspect they're going to have the plow. So if I Sentinel this turn, yeah, so I'm going to Sentinel first. Though that does play into Thalia. It's pretty bad. And play into Containment Priest. All right, that's fine. At least they paid off. I got the plow out of their hand. Rashad Port and Stoneforge Mystic. Here comes the Jete. Okay, so all right, I drew Bayou. That's good because I did not want to have to run out of Bayou. So I can play Ranger and Zenith for Dryad Arbor here, and the Ranger protects the Arbor. And then I have 1,000,000 mana next turn. This fucking Progenitus, by the way. In London, I have not played a Progenitus deck since the London Mulligan, so maybe you just always mulligan a hand with Progenitus because you're guaranteed not to have it in your 6, and you're already on 6. Yeah, maybe that's just like a correct heuristic in the London Mulligan world, unless your hand is just otherwise bananas. Okay, so they had another plow. They had the double plow and Jete start. This is about the best they can do. Let's see if it matters. Doesn't look like it. So I have 4 mana. Do I need to Zenith something else? Or can I just get a... I think I can just get Symbiote here. So having Symbiote and Ranger... Oh no, alright. So I can fail to find, or I can choose something that I don't want in my deck. I don't really want to draw Allosaurus Shepherd, so I can just get rid of that. Yeah, let's just exile a Shepherd. Important to note, if I play this Nettle Sentinel, then I can't block bounce if they go land Jete next turn. I could just block, but then I lose my whole board. But they also lose their Containment Priest. Oh, I can't really effectively block bounce anyway, because if I bounce Dryad Arbor, there's no way to put a Dryad Arbor into play with Containment Priest. If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, there's no way to cast a land. So even if I play it from my hand, it's gone. So I might as well just, I don't know, block. Yeah, this is bad though. Seeing the Containment Priest makes the heavy natural order plan worse. I definitely should have mulliganed. Now that I've put some thought into it. All right, yeah, here comes the Jete. Well, they didn't put it on Priest, so that's good news. So I can block and they can kill most of my things, but not all of them. Nettle Sentinel is gone, and Aquarian Ranger is gone also. All right, they're gone. We need Abrupt Decay off the top. Okay, that blocks for a turn. Trades off with their remaining creature. Yeah, so if they want to get counters on the Jitte, they have to trade off the Priest, which is like their best card against me. Yeah, this was literally the best start they could possibly muster. They had turn 1 Plow, turn 2 Stoneforge for Jitte, turn 3 Plow, plus Containment Priest, then Jitte active. All right, now they have Thalia, so they have a first striker. And Decay is not even out because they're going to port my Bayou. All right, we're dead. We can go to game 3. Sometimes they just get you like that. All right, I'm off Progenitus. What do I want to do instead? I could bring a Once Upon a Time back in. On the play, you definitely just sort of want to pop off on them. I could cut Natural Order. A Natural Order, not all of them. But I have more Decays than they have Priests, guaranteed. So I think I'm going to keep that. I don't want to shave on that package, because this deck is built to Natural Order early and often. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. This hand is explosive, and I'm going to keep it. So they have to have Swords to Plowshares, Deafening Silence, or Mindbreak Trap to win this game. And even Deafening Silence is medium because most of my spells are creatures. I'm going to lead on Nettle Sentinel and then try to win the next turn. All right, so they're on 6. Six cards, good enough. I guess it would be pretty hard to win next turn unless I draw a 1-drop. Please just like cast Aether Vial or Mom or like some shit I don't care about. Don't leave up Plow. They did keep this hand though, so they could have gone to 5. All right, so they left up Plow after thinking really hard about it. Ooh. All right, so I can test the waters with this Birchler Ranger. Let's see if they plow Nettle Sentinel in response. They did, okay. So now I can go Bayou Heritage Druid and try to set up for next turn. Yeah, that plow was clutch. If they had played Aether Vial or Mother Runes or some shit, they would have lost that turn. So if they have Revoker here, they name Heritage Druid. Yep. Basically, you just always name the worst card imaginable and assume that they have it, because that's how this works. Oh, Heritage Druid is on lockdown. I can glimpse though and try to get something going. Get to draw at least 2 cards here, and I have Cradle waiting in the wings. How about a creature to cast? All right, that's a pretty good creature to cast. And we're out of gas. I could make 1 mana, but that doesn't do anything. All right. So they have to port or waste my Cradle or they lose next turn. And if they have to port my Cradle, then they can't really do much. So they're in a pretty good squeeze right now. Trying to imagine the worst thing they can do to me. It's probably Wasteland plus Stoneforge. All right, so are they porting or are they holding up Priest? They're holding up Priest. All right. So I'm gonna fetch and see if they flash in Priest. All right, they did not flash in Priest. So 5, 6, 7, 8. We skip the natural order and go straight to the hoof. There is no Mind Break Trap. I've only cast 1 spell this turn. They're in the tank about it. They're looking at the Containment Priest in hand, like, how did this all go wrong? Yes. All right, let's see. Do they have something? Why isn't the game over? I guess they could. Oh, Path to Exile. Wow. All right, they can Path Hoof with trigger on the stack that makes my things slightly smaller. All right, yeah, it's not lethal. That is true. They are at 2 though, or 1. All right. Oh yeah, Nettle Sentinel's a 2/2 to bait at start. So they're at 1 against 5 lethal attackers, and they missed their land drop last turn. What do you got? Just a scoop. We take those. Yeah, Death and Tax is historically one of the better matchups for Elves, so I'm glad we were able to get the W there. All right, we're on the draw with a keeper in round 3. Opponent's on 6. I love the security of just having Allosaurus Shepherd in every opening hand. Just playing 4 of that card is so smart. I have boarded it out twice because I played against 2 non-blue decks, but what are you going to do? All right, Snow Island Ponder. They could be combo. They're probably not Delver. If they are Delver, it's blue-red. So I'm just going to get started with the Shepherd, clear the way for the future turns. If they want to remove this, they can. If they don't, I'm going to go bonkers. Ponder, no shuffle, ponder. Shuffle. All right, this could still be show and tell, or just any control deck. All right. So Nettle Sentinel get in. Heritage Druid get in. So they could Bolt Shepherd and counter Druid. That is a sequence that exists. I'm gonna Zenith for 2 to get Visionary. Elvish Visionary. And then I'm gonna play Symbiote. And now we play a slightly dangerous game because I have to pick up the Shepherd to get 3 mana again. I guess it's not even a dangerous game because I just play the Shepherd first and reset, and they just pack it up. All right. Yeah, so that's not even as dangerous as I thought because you just replay the Shepherd first, which is uncounterable, and etc. And then I was about to redraw a card, have 3 more mana. All right, and they conceded. So do I think they're combo or control based on that? If they're a combo deck, they probably would not have conceded there. So I'm going to bring in my Thoughtseizes are good against combo and control, and Choke is good against the deck full of islands regardless. So Once Upon a Time, not so much. Historically, Natural Order has been a pretty solid cut against blue decks because getting it countered is a 2-for-1, and that's just brutal. But the Shepherd plan makes that totally different than it used to be. Maybe I want to go less on the Thoughtseizes. Let's see, Aquarian Ranger. This deck didn't seem like it would be attacking my mana. So I can shave on one of those. Maybe I do shave a Natural Order. I like the Shepherd. It seemed like they didn't do anything because Shepherd was in play. So maybe 2 Chokes, 2 Thoughtseize. Abrupt Decay. Like any blue deck honestly could have Plague Engineer in it, but I think I want to make them show that to me before I respect it. And I just want to cast Elves until then. All right, no Shepherd, but lots of mana. They kept 7 this time, that's lucky. A Wooded Foothills. Am I going to get stifled? I did not get stifled. Good news, everybody. I think I want to lead on the Thoughtseize. Like, I want to know what I'm playing against so I can start sequencing better. Tell me your secrets. Or waste your counterspell. Either one is fine. Force of Negation, pitching Submerge. Alright, those are both cards I'm pretty happy are out of the deck, though that is a very Delver set of cards to have, so if I get Wastelanded here, the game might just end. Alright, I didn't get Wastelanded. Alright, they are some sort of Dreadhorde Arcanist deck. Are they just like somehow Rug Delver with a with a basic island in there? Like, is that a thing that can happen? Alright, so I probably want to run out the Quirion Ranger to... I guess that doesn't make sense. I should have played the Symbiote. I was going to say Quirion Ranger to protect my mana, but if they have Wasteland, they're hitting the Cradle, obviously, not the Bayou. If they have Lightning Bolt here, we lose the game. Probably. Not literally, but it's pretty close. My hand is all gas, though, so I might be able to rebuild. Though a Lightning Bolt would be a disaster. I'm impressed they left in Force of Negation against me, though. Not gonna lie. They saw the Shepherd game 1, and like when I'm a Delver deck, I tend to be cutting, like shaving my forces anyway to make room for all the stuff that I want in the deck. Like I normally present like 3 forces against Elves. Oh, impressive. I'm really glad I didn't have to play against the Submerge, though. Pitching Submerge means that they either didn't have another blue card, or they have something better than Submerge. Uh-oh. Okay. They found the lightning bolt. All right, let's see how well we can rebuild here. So they pondered into the bolt too. So even if I led on Wirewood Symbiote, I would have still they would have still gotten value off their Arcanist. All right, deck. All right, deck. Okay, so Ranger first. Untap this creature, bounce this forest. Play this. Zenith for Nettle Sentinel. Don't have Daze as your last card, please. All right, so Nettle Sentinel. And you're choked. So let's see where we go from here. It's like they didn't even play Gwynmate last turn. Wow, that was bananas. Choke is such a fucked up card. Julian loves this card, and he is smart for that. Oh, bummer. They found Wasteland. And that doesn't, it's kind of lame, but it doesn't super matter. So if they attack with their Dreadhorde Arcanist to cast Ponder, I can untap one of my elves and double block, but then I lose one of my elves, and with it the 3 mana. So I don't think I want to make that play. I think I just let them Ponder. Though if they value this Arcanist, if they overvalue this Arcanist, they might not even attack. I think the attack is pretty easy from their side. It's just how I block that is tough for me. Like, unless their card in hand is exactly Lightning Bolt, yeah, there's the attack. So I still block with Nettle Sentinel to save 1 damage, but I'm not going to double block for the trade. Not on this board. Maybe this is a matchup where I'm supposed to have Progenitus in, though I didn't know this was the matchup at the time. Though I've found that like I should just have all of my Abrupt Decays in. I have my chokes. I probably want Ooze. I don't really need Thoughtseize. And I don't think I want Progenitus. Like I just want to play to the board because they're not a deck that can really beat 6/1/1s. Especially with the 4 Shepherd build of this deck. Like Rugdelver is exactly who I was talking about in the intro when I talked about how you need to check the board and the stack. Like they're not very good at doing both, and one Abrupt Decay can frequently tumble their house of cards. They did not shuffle. So not shuffling, they must just be trying to flip Delver unless they found like Force or Submerge. Not that matters. I think I can offer to trade with a Delver. Like the way I'm going to lose this game is if they win the race. and they're not gonna win the race if they trade off their Delver. Right, they're in their tank. Did they find Force of Will? Like, if their Ponder found Force of Will plus another spell to flip Delver, that's pretty much the best possible Ponder. And I'm not playing this Cradle. I don't want to give them any targets for Wasteland. Just maximize their dead draws. They have a lot of them right now. I played around Daze by bouncing my Forest first, but Daze is still good for them because it unlocks one of their mana sources. Though I don't think they would have kept Daze on top with a Ponder. Unless they were playing around exactly Natural Order. But I had 5 mana last turn anyway, so they weren't even playing around Natural Order with Daze. That would just be a questionable card all around. Unless they had Lightning Bolt in hand, and Daze unlocks a red source so they can bolt, and then Arcanist can also bolt. Because that's pretty good. Alright, that does not appear to be what happened. Alright, there's Submerge. So the Ponder did find Submerge and flip Delver. That was what I was worried about. Pretty sure they should just fire off this Submerge on Symbiote right now. Just make sure my draw is bad. They can try to like trick me in combat, but I'm just not going to attack and I get an extra draw step. And if they submerge anything other than Symbiote, I guess I could have bounced my Forest when they flip the Submerge to play around all of this. Maybe I just do that. Okay, I don't control a Forest anymore. So Submerge is turned off. Let's see if that pays off. I can attack with all these Elves. And just bounce the one they block. They're clicking on Submerge right now. It doesn't work. So we're both getting in for 3 every turn. The race is on. Guess I can shove this backup choke. Not sure how they would answer the first one. Maybe like Brazen Borrower or something, but let's just not let that happen. So now if they draw Wasteland, they get to hit my Cradle. But if they draw Wasteland, then they didn't draw a relevant card. So it's win-win. And I'm still winning this race. Backup Cradle. Old nickels and dimes. They probably should just be blocking Nettle Sentinel because I have the trick anyway. They should just like save the extra point of damage. I'm glad they didn't slam Submerge. Like, from the Rug Delver side, getting tricky with Submerge usually isn't worth it. You just want to time walk your opponent as soon as you draw that card. Okay, so They've been playing like they have a force, so I actually think I just want to Zenith for Visionary here. This is almost certainly getting forced, just the way that they've played. I guess I choked them, so the way that they played doesn't mean much. All right, they picked up a land for days. That could just be picking up a land. Doesn't mean anything. Visionary. So I could maintain this race, or I could... I think I just want to maintain the race. Though they did just pick that up. So if they have a bolt, I lose. All right, so I'm going to keep going here. Because that daze was clearly just to pick up a land. And Delver, Bolt plus Arcanist is dead. All right, I was looking for exactly second Zenith, so I could Scavenging Ooze. Or I can just go for the hoof here. I guess I just have to do that, huh? Boring, but okay. Nope. That's how you tap that. Keep the untapped one. Zenith for hoof plays into daze, and I can't play around it. So they have Submerge, Volcanic Island, and 3 unknowns in their hand. I can't beat a force anyway, though Scavenging Ooze. All right. I'm just going to play it for 2. Scavenging Ooze gains me 2 life, gets me ahead in the race. And stops the bolt line. Is Scavenging Ooze in my deck? Did I just fuck this up? I guess I should have checked my sideboard. But oh, I can attack for lethal with Allosaurus Shepherd right now. All right. Backup plan. Whoops. Okay, so attacking like this, they have to block. Yeah, I was playing as if I knew I was against Rug Delver. I forgot that I sideboarded basically blind. So they go to 2, they lose Dreadhorde Arcanist, and Bolt isn't alive out anymore, and we played around Submerge the entire time. All right, what you got? I don't know what they could have. Like, I see a lot of ways they can put me to 3, but I don't see how they can win this game. Unless they have Blazing Volley. Even that, they're still in trouble, though, because I have this Nettle Sentinel that can attack, and I get to save something. Like they don't have 2 mana for Rough Tumble. Like, I don't know. Yeah, all right, yeah. They came to the same conclusion, and they're dead. Defeated Rug Delver. All right, back for round 4. Let's keep this streak going. This hand has a lot of mana, and I didn't fully respect this when the league started. I'm going to keep this, by the way. I didn't fully respect this when the league started because I hadn't played with the card, but the bottom line of Allosaurus Shepherd is not flavor text. Like, that matters. My opponent's avatar is the card Reanimate, so we could be in some trouble. Alright, that's not a Reanimator card. Oh, it's the Mirror. Ew. The Elves Mirror is not good magic, by the way. It is a complete crapshoot. Alright, can I get... I was going to say, can I get to 6 mana this turn? The answer is no. Alright, I have a... Ooh, so I can attack and basically put them into the Stone Age if they block. I'm going to do that, because this I'm like threatening lethal with this next turn, but also, like, if I could bolt that, I would. So, I don't know. That's kind of a close call. If you're an Elves expert, sound off in the comments, because, like, they could have just won this turn with Birchler Ranger in play, and they absolutely can't without it in play. Like, I'm way ahead on mana and board right now. I don't know. That was probably the most interesting play we're gonna have today. Let's just draw natural order and make it irrelevant. Kinda. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're not there yet. All right, Sentinel, chip shots. It's gonna be hard to win from Elvish Visionary in play and nothing else. Next turn, it could happen though. Maybe tapping Nettle Sentinel was bad. Like, am I just gonna get wrecked next turn because my Nettle Sentinel is tapped? Am I gonna get a next turn? Probably not. So, like, they had Glimpse, Heritage Druid in hand, this Cradle, so, like, I'm still not sure about this attack from turn 2 for me. Like, what would it have cost? It would have cost 4, 5, 6. Archon. Are they going to name sorcery or creature? Oh, they can't name creature. Oh, that's an instant. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so it is definitely worse for me that I did not. All right, I'm gonna Once Upon a Time. All right, let's see. What does a hoof attack look like? So if I hoof, I attack for, I'll have 5 creatures, so 10, I'll attack for 17, put them to 1. When they would be dead if I hadn't attacked with Nettle Sentinel last turn. Yeah, so I dealt 2 damage last turn to lose 6 damage this turn. Yeah, as soon as I did that, I knew it was bad. So I could Once Upon a Time and try to... That untaps Nettle Sentinel and gets the party going. Let's see what we got. Another Cradle. Great. I already played my land drop for the turn. I'm real smart. That's okay. We found Heritage Druid, which does the same thing. I think this gets me where I need to be. Yeah, because now I have an extra creature in play. Yeah. Okay. Made a small punt there. Oh, that's a 5/6, not a 5/5. Doesn't matter. Still dead. All right. Still, that early play, that early attack, questionable. So the choices you can make in the Elves Mirror are to try to control what they're doing a little bit, buy yourself a little bit of time, or just slam. Just like present your game one deck again and go. And Julian's deck is built for speed, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Like maybe Thoughtseize on the draw is fine, because they're gonna have the first crack at the combo. So like if I bring in the Thoughtseize, I would cut the Once Upon a Times. Elvish Visionaries a little slow in the combo mirrors, including the Elf Mirror. Symbiote is still good. Shepherd is a little redundant probably. So if I like do this on the draw and then just bring my main deck back in on the play, I think I like that. I'm not going to mess around with Abrupt Decay. That card costs 2 mana. My opponent does seem to be the fairer version. They have Archon of Valor's Reach in their deck, and that's not a card that I play. I'm going to mulligan this. It doesn't do anything. So I can bottom hoof, Zenith for Dryad Arbor, Birchler Ranger, and I have 2 glimpses. This hand is a mess, but I am going to keep it. You can fearlessly fetch your non-basics in this matchup. They are in no danger. We had the same idea for turn 1. Let's see how their turn 2 looks, because if I draw a land, our turn 2 could be really exciting. If I draw Gaia's Cradle, we could just win. If they have Cradle, we could just lose. Okay, yeah. So their hand, look at the way their hand is. It was turn 1 Dryad Arbor, then all this other shit. And that's what I did too. All right, so they're going to name Sorcery. That Hymn to Tarox me. Oh, wow. That was really bad. Okay. I'm not sure what's left to do here, except concede. I guess we can still try to draw Cradle. Yeah, they're on Newton's build. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not enough. Though Cradle off the top could win with the hoof. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, I'm not dead yet. Shepherd. They don't have enough to activate it. If they have a second Cradle, they do. Reclaimer is a 7/7 if you activate Allosaurus Shepherd with 3 lands in your graveyard. That's pretty dope. Okay, so Cradle off the top can win? Is that true? Can certainly present a large attack. Cradle? Alright, that's not a Cradle. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this is the same. 1, 2, 3. I guess the difference is now I have an extra elf in place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There might be something here. I think we can cast Natural Order, but it doesn't do anything. Or cast Hoof, but it doesn't do anything. Haha! Have at you. Take 11 and I concede. Okay, so that turn to Archon of Valor's Rage, ripping 3 sorceries out of my hand was really bad for me. So I'm just going to go for speed. Main deck back in. And let's do it. I would like to play first, and my hand is excellent. I'm going to Zenith for Arbor. That makes the most mana on turn 2. Llanowar Elf plus Gaia's Cradle is just... Name a more iconic duo. Alright, they're deep in the tank over there. I wonder if I have to play around Mindbreak Trap. Can I play around Mindbreak Trap, even if I could? Like, I don't know if I can even afford that. I'm just gonna do the fastest, most powerful thing I can do, and hope that it wins. Tale as old as time. Heritage Druid. Oh no, my glimpse. They did bring in their Thoughtseizes. Draw glimpse. Alright, we drew Zenith. What does that do? So I can play Heritage Druid, Allosaurus Shepherd, Zenith for Visionary. Alright, Elvish Visionary. That makes 3. That plays the Symbiote. Hold on. So if I untap Dryad Arbor, I'm guaranteed 1 mana. If I untap Heritage Druid, yeah, there's no other way forward. I don't have another source of mana here, so this is what I'm going to do. Then I'll get the other Dryad Arbor, and then we can hoof next turn. Nice Thoughtseize. Don't have another one. Or don't kill me. I don't think Elves can win starting from 1 mana and 0 permanents, or 0 like creatures. Alright, so that's a freebie. 7, 8 are... This is the way to do this. Zenith for 8. Get the hoof. And that's the game. Alright, we won the Elves Mirror. Which apparently is something we need to worry about now because Julian and Newton are just crushing. On to the finals. Alright, so we're on the play for the finals. This is a perfectly keepable hand. Oh, we're playing against a Yorion deck. That should be good news. Yorion decks are going to have thinner density of cards that matter in general. So Allosaurus Shepherd is pretty good. Yeah, let's do that. It's also an elf, which I kind of need right now. All right. We didn't find the cradle, but that's okay. We did find Shepherd, which means we get to get nasty this turn. Or maybe I play Symbiote and try to get nasty next turn. That makes sense in my brain. Like I can fetch Dryad Arbor here. I can protect Shepherd with my symbiote. Yeah, not having a third elf right now is a pretty big detractor from trying to do anything flashy. Cling to dust. So that's just cycling. Okay, so they just get another card. Okay. Which is something they probably need to do here. This deck almost certainly has 3 or 4 Plague Engineers in it, though. In the 75. Punishing Fire. Okay, that's fired. Bouncing Shepherd doesn't do anything. I think they should have waited for me to fetch, because I'm almost certainly fetching Dryad Arbor here, and that would have been a way better target. Show me an elf. Not an elf. All right. This one trigger to rule them all. Show me an elf. Yes. Let's keep it going. Couldn't keep it going. Bummer. All right. That got kind of lame, but we did draw 2 cards. We divinationed. So a 1-mana divination in Legacy is not a bad deal. Do they have the engineer? No. Okay, my symbiote is dead, so that has to happen. Re-Shepherd. I'm gonna pump the Dryad Arbor because that's the one I can bounce if they have Lightning Bolt. Another Cling. Okay. That's the cantrip. Dak Faden. Okay. So here we see this opponent just slowly bleeding out to my 1/1s. This Uro, they don't have anything close to green mana in play right now. Cradle for the win. What does that do? All right, so I can make 1, 2, 3. All right, I think I have something close to lethal here. I just have to actually math it out. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on. I guess targeting one of these with Pendelhaven and attacking with Dryad Arbor do the same amount of damage, so I don't have to worry about that. All right, my creatures are bigger. I can put them to 1. Untap this by bouncing this forest. All right, you're a 1. So they have to Wrath me here. Yeah, and they're dead. Yeah, so like I was saying, they couldn't put a wall up against my 1/1s, and my Allosaurus Shepherd was probably blanking some number of counters in their hand. And playing a 1-for-1 game, like paid 2 mana to answer a 1-mana threat, 2 mana to answer a 1-mana threat. Like that's not gonna hang up. Like they just died to beats. Okay, Choke is excellent. I'm gonna want Scavenging Ooze here. This might be a Progenitus matchup. They're gonna have. Oh, do I board in 7 cards? What do I cut if I'm boarding in 7 cards? Nettle Sentinel can get a little wonky. Quirion Ranger, if they're not attacking my mana. I can cut one of the hoofs if I'm bringing in Progenitus. So I don't want to cut Natural Order if I'm bringing in Progenitus, because that's a combo. Like I want to respect the Plague Engineer first and foremost, and then obviously their deck's full of islands. And then I can think about Uro and alternate win cons after that. I don't think I need... I want two monsters in the deck, whether it's Progenitus, Hoof, or two Hoofs. And if I cut a Natural Order, then I could just play one Hoof, bring in Scavenging Ooze. I could cut all the Natural Orders and leave in both Hoofs, but that insults this Allosaurus Shepherd plan that this deck is built around. So maybe I just do this. Bring in two Chokes, two Decays. Though the Plague Engineer is a serious problem. Maybe one less Glimpse if they're going to be like controlling my board. Like Glimpse does require some velocity to get going. Oh, I feel like this is the least confident in sideboarding that I've been in this league yet, but I'm going to go with this. Like Choke and some number of Abrupt Decay are the only things that I'm 100% on. Okay, so I can die immediately to Punishing Fire or win if they don't have it. And by Punishing Fire, I mean any spot removal spell. This is a mulligan. This is a keep. Put Dryad Arbor on the bottom where I can go get it. Wow, Elves benefited a lot from the London mulligan. Big fan of everything. Like all the natural orders and green sun zenith targets. I don't think this deck has Wasteland in it, and I'm willing to get punished if they do. I just noticed the Drown in the Lock and aggressive Cling to Dust plan is kind of a non-bow. Fatal Push is good. We're fine trading one for one in some places. We're actually fine trading one for one everywhere against these fair blue decks. Eventually, we're going to draw more cards than them. They need a way to catch up if they wanna hang. Okay, they're doing the Cling You to Dust aggro play. Wow, Force of Will. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I'm going to play out this Naked Cradle. Just in case I draw a land, I want to be able to hit my land drop. What did they pitch? Force pitching Force. Okay, so there's Uro. Yeah, they're just trying to fill up their graveyard. And they've successfully done that. I did not board in Ooze, did I? Nope, there it is. Okay. Just checking. All right, Symbiote, Symbiote, Visionary. All right, so next turn they get Uro, and we get to go bonkers. Yikes, there's Grove of the Burn Willows. Pernicious Deed, Jesus. Okay, so I get to save this Visionary, and they lose their Astrolabe. So that was actually not that bad. All right, so mana mana. 1-drop elf. All right, didn't find a 1-drop elf, or else we could have kept going. So we gotta hope there's no backup Wrath here. I guess I could have left a Pendelhaven to play around Punishing Fire. I hope I don't get punished for it. I probably will, though. Yeah, this Bayou sitting untapped when I could have Pendelhaven up is so embarrassing. All right, looks like we dodged. So I'm holding Bayou, or I'm holding a fetch land, so I don't need to worry about this black mana yet. I would rather hold up Pendelhaven. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now I'm just gonna, oh, my Dryad Arbors are both accounted for. All right. Whoops, that's fine. I guess now I just hope that they don't have Force Blue card, and it looks like they don't. Again, this Pendelhaven just sitting here. I could have had a 7/8 attacking instead of a 6/6. All right, so they're dead on board. Go. Toxic Deluge for 5. They're at 2. All right, so if I had activated Pendelhaven last turn, they'd be at 1. All right, need to come up with a creature. Oh no. Oh no. We're going to get noodled out right at the end here. They're at 1. What does this card even do? Just draw a million? I'm surprised they played this as a land. Trophying. Okay, this gives them 5 in the graveyard for Uro. So I think we're going to lose here. I guess I can still draw a creature, like a 1-drop creature, string a few of them together, though this second round of Uro is a problem. Creature? Not a creature. There is 1 basic forest left in my deck. That was so close. If I had activated the Pendelhaven, they wouldn't have been able to fetch and wouldn't have had 5 cards in their graveyard for Uro. And a decay is something. We get to take this pressure off. Yeah, I'm surprised this is a land in play right now, though. This spell would be pretty good. Though I guess from Hellbend, it's not that great. I should also fetch before I draw the forest by accident. All right, let's go. It's weird they didn't put Yorion in their hand last turn. Okay, now it's less weird. Okay, here's Shepherd. It can win the game on its own. Let's hope their 3 cards in hand aren't any removal spell. It was. All right, is there a reasonable path to win this game? They have Grove of the Burn Willows active. No, I think we're dead. Yeah, 2 damage short. I could have had one of it. All right. So definitely want Scavenging Ooze in the deck now. Also, so we've seen Plague or Toxic Deluge and Pernicious Deed. Pernicious Deed's kind of scary. That kind of makes me want Progenitus in the deck. I gotta cut one more thing. Already low on those. And Allosaurus Sentinel's so good. Or Allosaurus Shepherd. Allosaurus Sentinel. Please print that card, Watsy. Alright, one less Abrupt Decay. Because I want to be more proactive here. Here comes Progenitus in the opening 7. Alright, it wasn't there. That's lucky. I'm going to keep. This hand does plenty. Alright, we like Ponders. Allosaurus Shepherd is probably my best draw this turn. They did not shuffle. Though that's also a pretty good draw. Can I bait them somehow this turn? Alright, I'll start here. See if they want to counter that. If they can counter that. Probably more important question. Alright, looks like we're going. Let's see how far we can go. So if I untap Heritage Druid, bouncing Visionary, then I can play the Ranger and keep going. If I draw something good, I can untap a Elf. So I can cast this as a morph. Is that better or worse than being an Elf? I could also just attack for 2. Yeah, I set me back a land to cast this as a morph. I don't think so. And that's all I got. Right, so they need a Pyroclasm to get back in this game. Like spot removal doesn't really matter here. If I draw Shepherd, I win. If I draw Natural Order, that'll force a counterspell. So I can bounce Visionary now to get an extra untap, but that does open up Heritage Druid to removal, or get an extra draw. I think that is worth doing and important. Okay, they didn't have the follow-up anyway. If they have Force of Will, this is a great time to crack it off. Zenith, that's a big deal. So 1, 2, 3, 10. I guess I'll just go big. Like Force is Force. I'm still playing around Spell Pierce. Okay, Force pitching Uro. We take those. Then untap here, pick this up. And I'm still holding another cradle if I draw something else worth doing. I'm going to play the Catacombs and attack instead of the Arbor, because Arbor is going to get swept up by Pernicious Deed along with everything else. And I can just fetch an Arbor if they don't have that. So do they have the Fatal Push, or is this just a shuffle? All right, yeah, if they had push, they should have pushed during combat, so that makes sense they don't have it. This looks like a deluge. All right, so I'm going to put Visionary back in my hand. Those are gone. The Relentless Creatures just spewing out of the deck here. I'm going to Visionary first before I make my land drop, see where I need to go. All right, Pendelhaven gives me protection from Punishing Fire. I'm starting to get worried, though. We've drawn way too many lands. Like, even one more spell in these 4 cards in hand would be a big deal. So I want to protect this one. Do they have the fire? Yep. All right. Yeah, that Pendelhaven was, in fact, doing work. I'm almost out of lands to draw, so that's a good news, I guess. Let's draw a Natural Order and win. I guess all I can really do is keep committing. Like, they have the Punishing Fire now, so I have to keep the pressure going. Though I'm playing straight into Pernicious Deed. All right, they're pretty close to double fire, and then I'm just fucked. Natural Order. All right, Zenith. Okay. Okay. Ooze is in my deck. Hopefully they just think I'm going for Visionary. Nice. Got him. All right, yeah, so they like just F6 through that, figuring I was getting Visionary, and now there's an Ooze in play. Gotta watch out though, because Scavenging Ooze gaining life triggers Punishing Fire. Oh, that's... Oh, damn it. I should have done it on their turn. All right, I mean, I guess I'll do it again. I fucked up. I should not have attacked with Dryad Arbor. Like, I was thinking, like, do I attack with Dryad Arbor, or what do I do here? And yeah, I just instead just yeeted it into the sun. Had the game locked up, and then decided to lose instead. Natural Order, please. Damn it. Okay, I may have punted the finals after all that work. We tried so hard and got so far. Though, Glimpse of Nature, still a pretty good card. I wish my opponent was dead instead of alive. What just happened? Oh, they put Yorion in hand. All right, so they have Yorion and Punishing Fire in their hand. I'm going to fetch my forest so I don't draw it. Let's draw a creature and be able to glimpse. That's a pretty good creature. Let's hope they don't have Force of Will. They had Force of Will, pitching Yorion. What a tilt. All right. That's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. But we know that they are... Oh, great. I was about to say, we know they're Hellbent, but then they draw the best card in their deck, and they're not Hellbent anymore. All right. We can still win if we draw Natural Order right now. Natural Order, off the top. Okay. Let's do this again. All right. The game goes on. Let's see if they fire Natural or Shepherd immediately. Yeah, that is the right play. Okay. Is their last card in hand also a removal spell? I guess I just play this. All right, so drawing a creature off the top could still win this game. A creature that is not Progenitus. I'll call it now before the deck lets me draw Progenitus. So a 1-drop off the top could still win the game. So close. Let's remember, though, we're only in this position because I punted with the Scavenging Ooze. I got super greedy for no reason. So they're going to bring back Uro here. They go to 9 life. And they draw a card. All right, so we've got to draw just a 1-drop creature. Let's go. Come on, deck. 1-drop creature. Deck's full of them. I deserve all of this, and I hate to admit it. See, do they have a Mystic Sanctuary or anything? Ice Fang, Coatl. Yeah, they're turning the corner now. Pretty soon, Progenitus won't even race effectively, or they'll be able to Polluted Delta, get back Toxic Deluge, and Deluge for 10. Jesus. Okay. I punted that turn where I should have exiled the Punishing Fire, and I'm pretty sure I would have easily won if I did that, because they imagine the same board except they don't have Punishing Fire. It's pretty embarrassing. All right, they're at 13 and I'm at 11. They also have 5 cards in their hand. Yeah, there's almost certainly a counterspell in there at this point. Was this Dak Faden also? All right, so they have their combo. They draw 2 cards, discard 2 Punishing Fires, get back the Punishing Fires. So Dak is just bananas. Okay. So I messed up one turn and the deck punished me for it. We needed a 1-drop over the last 4 turns and instead drew land cradle or land glimpse natural order. So I'm gonna concede. We're dead. That was close and totally my fault we lost. So with better play, this would have been a trophy. Still a solid 4-1. The deck is very good. Allosaurus Shepherd is very good. Every mode on this card matters a lot. Uh, just a lightning rod for removal. I like it a lot. Sideboarding is hard because the deck being so combo focused, there's not a whole lot that you'd want to trim or cut for various matchups. So when you need to board in more than like 2 or 3 cards, it starts to get pretty wonky. But that's the league. That's Elves. So close to a trophy. I fucked it up, but there was a chance. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me all the places I messed up. I know there were many, and I'll see you next time.